So there's a story that I really want to share. A story about college kids in a dorm room. Which one, you may ask? Sanford Hall. There are about 500 kids that share this very building and call this place home. Approximately 80% of them drink. About 60% of them fail at least one class. About 30% of them will get out of debt. About 15 will graduate and go to graduate school. About 10 will secure careers. And about 2% don't really care. And I'm one of those. Honestly, this is just sitting back and watching what they do. This is their story. Not mine, although I tell it through my own eyes. But it's about them. What they do here in this basement really does not define them as a person, yet more so as a community. Whenever they used to come down here on drunken rampages, it used to always be fun for them. And it still is, but they have found different friends, different places to go to. Yet, this place is where they all started. It's more convenient to come down here to some vending machines and some chairs and couches and hang out and throw food at each other and wrestle each other to the ground and maybe smash somebody to the wall and have a good laugh about it, wake up bruised and bloody in the morning and have no recollection of what had happened the night before. But I mean, that's what this community is about. Coming together. Drunk most of the time, but together nonetheless. What more could you want? I mean, it's still a basement. There's a place to do laundry. That doesn't necessarily make people come together. It just forces people to work for what they have or need. Really, what I want to talk to you about is what this place really represents to them. They bring a lot to the table of togetherness, the table of community. Yet sometimes it's strained. Friendships are broken. Trust is shattered. From just a small observation at one point when a guy was coming down, I'd ended up going to lunch, and I'd realized that when I'd come back, he started talking to the girl that I was sitting with and completely took over in full control of the conversation and pretty much butted me out of it. My friend noticed that and tried to get me to converse, and I wasn't stubborn. I tried, but him being quite rude about it and really negligent to let her go, and somewhat ignorant to the fact that she wasn't interested in him at all whatsoever because he didn't appeal, really put forth an idea that, sometimes not everybody's nice. So we both put him in his place. In the end, we felt successful about ourselves and about our lives because I think we sent him crying. But it's okay. We don't feel bad about sending somebody away crying. Broken souls, they're everywhere. I'm sitting here with one right now. Just kidding, I'm not. I'm all alone. Anyhow, this basement does that to you. It's like a cave, a cavern. It's my prison, technically, because I've slept here plenty of times, but so have many others. And why? Mainly because they can't get back to their beds, or because they're studying, or pulling all-nighters, and all that sorts of fun stuff, Something that, people can relate to, though, is just how, if you're listening to this, you've probably felt some of these strains and struggles before, The struggle of an all-nighter, or the pain of no sleep, the suffering of laundry, or just the hunger and satisfaction that you get whenever you get food here, You can connect those things as a listener. Put A and B together and you'll get C, 1 plus 1, 2. So if you know what it feels like to have all those things, or to feel and to see and experience those, you're not very far off from the experience here down in this basement. Yet, there is certain meaning that these people here give to this basement. And it's a sense of, I want to say love, but not so much. Love is pretty strong. More so, strong care for. Although they don't really care for the area here because they trash it quite often. They care for each other when down here. It's, like I've said, it's a community. Yet, they care about each other like brother and sister. They care about having this area to be here together. It's like an opportunity for them. Thus, this place is kind of a representation of a home. A second home. Or I guess a third, because their second home is their dorm room. And a third is just the vicinity here. Another thing that, may just put people, I guess, more down to earth with this basement is the fact that it's like an everyday thing that you have to go through here. That laundry stuff over in the back may not be every day, but it's another part of life. We all know that you're going to have to do your laundry, or else you're gross and nasty and just plain ew. Trust me, you don't want to be that kid. 2 centuries of trying to learn how to be clean, and we finally get it down, and those that don't decide to do it, no. Just no. Yet, something that I really want to point out, though, it's a common interest amongst many of these kids here, and even I share it. The fact that, we're all in school, and we should be mature about it, Yeah, I hear about stories that people skip. It's a common thing, but, it's their own choice. They want to pass or fail. Fine by me. But that's not going to be me. So, we share this common interest of school. Another, maybe accomplishments. Maybe while we were all drunk. Those accomplishments. I'm not saying I have accomplishments, much less I'm not saying I was drunk, or have been drunk, or drink, or will drink, or have been drinking, or could drink. I'm sure you get the point. But there are many, many accomplishments that occur when being drunk, many of which have happened down here, and lead up to others in other places. We share those bases, although I may not need to be talking about that at the time. So, when coming together here, I'd like to point out that we are all different. We're like America and culture and what it's supposed to represent. Because honestly, this place is cultured. I know of a group that has a white kid, an African American kid, a Hispanic kid, an American Indian kid, an Asian kid, and an actual Indian kid, and a mixed kid. They're all still kids though, and together. Different, unique in their own way, but together, like a family. So, it's really how they share that common belief of being together and accepting each other for who they are. Because no matter what you really have going on or represent, the fact that you accept each other here, that's what happens here. This place is, I guess you could say, notorious for acceptance, because although you may not want to sometimes, you're kind of forced to accept each other. Yet, it's okay. That's really the common interest that we have, a common belief, a common goal that we all share. Thus, that's what these basement people really are. College kids with common interests and beliefs that come together as a community and just are. They sacrifice some of themselves for what they are to become. Or maybe I was just making all this up. Really, your choice. If you want to listen to all this, good job. But honestly, I may be lying. So, you pick.